Hi everyone, thank you for joining us in our show today. My name is David from Ready Space. Today I'm going to give you space to grow. Right, before we start, today we're going to discuss a topic about cybersecurity. Yeah, we're going to discuss and learn about cybersecurity and specifically on PDPA. So if you want to learn more about PDPA, please help me type in the comment PDPA. PDPA, come on, guys. Okay, and we're gonna wait for more people to join us. So we'll take for a while. We'll just hold on for a while. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Okay, we see Yok Kiang, we see Elim. Hi, Elim. And see Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so if you know anyone who will be benefited from this, please help me share to your Facebook profile and share to your Facebook group, okay? And then comment share, because at the end of this session, we're going to give you a bonus gift, all right? Share. Then when you share, we'll be able to know, and then from there, we'll be able to send you that bonus gift, right? So please help me. Help me to share to your Facebook group, Facebook profile, somebody that you know that you will benefit through listening and learning about PDPA, cybersecurity, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Okay, if you have shared, type share in the comment. Right. Hello. Hi, Elim. Thanks for joining. Yep. Okay, so without spending much time, today we're going to talk about cybersecurity, and I think cybersecurity is something that is very close to our hearts. But at the same time, a lot of people, or even business owners or even individual, do not know how to manage it because there are just too many components, to protect yourself from cybersecurity, right? From cybersecurity threats, right? So today I believe that this session is going to be very useful for you, a time of learning and a time of sharing. Okay, and today we have a special guest. His name, I'm going to not share with you who is he. Okay, but actually you know because I've already posted up. Right, but it doesn't, we're going to put him live later and then we'll personally hear from him. Okay, so I hope that you guys will be able to hear from and learn. And then if you have any questions, feel free to share and comment in the comment box. All right, in a comment in your Facebook. All right. Okay, so right now I just want to bring you in our special guest. Okay, he's actually at the backstage now. Okay, Mr. Shane Chang. Hi, Shane.
Hello,
Are you able to hear?
everybody.
Yes. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Shane.
Hello.
Wow, how's things, man? Hey, your background very bright.
Right.
I think
Yeah, okay.
you have
Aura here.
a light. You have a
Yeah, there's
light
a
behind,
light.
is it?
No, the
Oh,
light is on the ceiling. So apologize
okay.
if the lighting in the room
No,
condition
it's
is
fine.
not so good.
I
Yeah.
think it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so
So
much for
I hope.
inviting.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to learn more about cybersecurity. Yeah. That's why I thought that it's really good to have you as one of the experts in the industry to share with us. Shane. Actually, when is the first time that I hear from? I know you, not when the first time. I tell you, you
Wow.
won't believe it. It was really
Okay.
at your electrical equipment days. Really.
Wow. That was
Yes.
a long time ago.
1990, if I'm not wrong, 1998.
Wow.
Really. Yeah, so since
Eh,
then, I've been following you, and I know
oh,
that you have been doing a lot of amazing things like, okay, I think one of the main amazing thing that I heard from you after your electrical equipment is HTC. Yeah,
yeah.
HTC, right? I think you were there for how many years? Two
Um, yeah.
or
5 years.
three? 5 years,
5
right?
years.
And you
Five
actually
over
drive
years.
the HTB, what am I talking about? HTC.
Yeah.
HTC brand into Singapore, is that right?
I mean, large part into Asia lah. Yeah, so Asia
Asia.
Pacific. I was working at a global level and more of
Mm.
driving in terms of the digital marketing side, social marketing in the early
Oh,
days. This was
okay.
like 2010 or 11 or something like that. Yeah, so early days.
2015. Yeah. Wow. You know, and but you are the one that really drive. I tell you, oh, HTC, amazing from Taiwan, right? And then I
From
hear
Taiwan.
and then I hear about you in Honest Bee, and then followed
Yes,
by a lot of other companies. And then you move into cybersecurity, right?
yes,
So now here you
yes.
are, right, running your own cybersecurity firm, and this is really amazing. So without further ado, please, can you, I don't know, do you have any introduction that you have for us? Please share. Yep.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, firstly, I'd like to say hello to everybody out there, and thank you for taking your time to join in this sharing session. I call it a copy chat lah. All right, make it more casual, and it's not it's not like you're on stage or something like that. And basically, we want to share with you a little bit more about not just about cybersecurity, but around the area of data privacy protection, and it relates a lot back to PDPA. PDPA is the governing body. Some of you may not know that there is a governing body in Singapore whereby they ensure that you are aligned to the government's requirements and regulations and instruction in terms of how you protect the personal data that you carry in your company itself. So this is something that I'm going to talk about later on.
PDPA is a name. PDPA is a name for from Singapore, right? How about in Malaysia? What do you call
Yes.
that in Malaysia?
Malaysia, you have another name. For example, what's famous in what do you call that in the Europe
Europe.
side? You have
Ah,
GDPR. Right, it's a very very
okay.
long name. You have NIST in the US and so on and so forth. You have your own versions in each country. And I
But they are
think
equivalent.
one of the big thing about all
Ah,
this is that every one of them are talking about the same thing about data, privacy,
okay.
and protection. But each region or each country, like the European EU region, is GDPR. Their requirements and ours may have similar parts, but you may have a diversity of things as well at the same time. So you're going to have a mixture of both. And I think the key thing is that today we're going to be focusing on Singapore, but I'll
Okay.
touch a little bit on some of the European one because you may have European customers or clients whereby you may also be involved in their GDPR requirement as well.
Actually, in fact, I think we have people going to watch this video from all over the world. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think,
thank you.
yeah, but of course, starting from Singapore, and then if you have anything to share more, please go ahead to share. Today we want to learn from you. Okay, all yours, Shane.
All right. So thanks a lot, David, for bringing me here and to have a little quick chat about data privacy and the importance of data privacy and what it means to you as a company. I think that many times, right? I'll just maybe give you an analogy, and then we stick or paint a picture around this analogy because not many people understand the difference between data privacy and data security. It's actually two different things, which I'm going to touch on later on. And then I think the key thing to note is for most companies, right, especially for SMB, whereby you own the business, you are the business owner, you have a team of 3 people or a team of 50 people, all right, depending on how big your organization is. You can be a company that has a revenue of about less than $1 million a year or $1 million a year, or you may be a company of a 3-man team that has a revenue of about $15 million a year or even more than that. So it does not really hit on in terms of the amount of revenue that your company makes, but the key importance is that data privacy is for every single company moving forward, especially right now during COVID-19. Many of us are going online. We are accessing our our tools, our work. Everything that we do, we are all going online. You see companies, just getting behind it. And I think the key thing that most people do, which is good, you go online, you get more business opportunity, you get more eyeball, you get more people to see or hear about your business. It's more easy to use, meaning that I don't have to go to a physical office. I can, for example, buy a certain service online and I can get things delivered to me. I can see Elim on the chat. She has fast, for example. You can do delivery very quickly online. And you can access all these through your mobile devices, through your computers, laptops, tablets, and so on and so forth. And with that, I think the key thing to note is that you need to have data that is protected at the same time. Now, many people say, oh, I do not know anything about technology. It's hard to use. I don't understand it. But actually, the truth is, it's actually very simple and it's very easy. So today, I'm going to teach you or share with you about how do you actually have or prevent your data from being lost, all right, or losing your data. and how you can align yourself to what the Singapore's requirement is regarding PDPA. All right. So
Hey,
these are the things
Shane,
that we're going to talk about. Yep.
just one thing. You
Go ahead.
mentioned a lot about business, right? So does it mean that personal, like for my own personal use laptop, is not applicable for PDPA? How about
Yes.
organizations? I mean, is there a separation? Yeah, maybe you can share with us
Yeah,
more.
I mean, there is of course a separation, but at the same time, you know that nowadays we use our same laptop for your own personal use, but at the same time for your business use as well. So as long as your equipment is being used for business, all right, whether is it, half of it is for personal, the other half is for business, as long as the business context or information, right, is in your laptop, and during for example, a PDPA, a check or review, and they have found personal data of client, and personal data meaning like your credit card information, addresses, NRIC numbers, and so on and so forth on your personal laptop. You are also subjected to, the possible fine or requirements by the law as well.
So
So
there's
there's
really
a
a high
pros
risk. I
of
mean,
both things. There's a high risk as
yeah,
well.
high risk.
But,
Okay, high
but there
risk
is
for
a solution.
businesses. Sorry to interrupt. High risk for
Go ahead.
businesses, and also okay. I also know. Okay, a lot of people do not know why they need to protect their data. I mean, this is also another area that I think we have to ask you. Yeah,
Yeah.
my friends,
So,
they don't even care. They just share their NRIC. They just share their passport information. Photocopying. Like, you know, of course, before COVID-19, we
yeah.
travel and then we pass our passport information, right, all over, and
Yeah.
then get one family to buy the tickets. I think that is really a risk. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a form of a
So
risk. Yeah.
correct. So okay, I mean, I'm jumping a bit ahead or before. Okay, let me. I don't know. Okay, anyway, I want to ask you. Okay, so why is it so important for us as an individual to be aware where our personal information is being sent to? Yeah, why?
Okay. I think the key thing about your personal information, right, is that with what can people, okay, what can a hacker do with your data, right?
Yes.
Uh,
That's the question. Yes.
I think we work from the backwards, then we work to the front, right? So what can a person do if a hacker, if I'm a hacker, all right, and I have your data, what can I do with it? I can create fake accounts, I can create get a credit card number running, I can create a bunch of stuff. And by faking your identity, I can do a lot of malicious things online, right? I can buy or set up certain things whereby I can link or change certain information. So if I have, for example, your credit card information plus your expiry date, all right, and you go online, you do a purchase, all right, I can actually buy something offline. Now, I could have bought something offline, and if you have not done any two-factor authentication, of course, your phone does not send you, your bank does not send you SMS to tell you that you have bought something recently, or you do not notice, then I run away with those information. Now, with that said, I must say that Singapore's banks are quite strong in this area. They have two-factor authentication. Now, only if you have applied for it. If you did not apply for it and you just have a credit card and you've been buying things all this while, you never have ever received an SMS to tell you that you have bought something, that means your two-factor authentication is not turned on, right? So
Okay,
you
so
need to
you
turn
mean
it on
it's optional? This
online.
option is optional, is it?
Yes. Yes. Some people
Okay.
either don't take note of it or they took note of it and they got to do something, because to do a two-factor authentication, there are some things that you actually need to do. But some people, like most people are, we are all lazy by nature. We may forget, or we may have put it to the next day, and then the next day, and then you go on and you forget about it. So overseas, there are countries that makes it two-factor authentication as a must. Some may not be. So it depends. So that part you're quite safe. But your other data information, I can actually create fake profile of you online. I can create fake stuff on you online and do a bunch of malicious stuff. So that's one way a hacker could use your
Okay,
data to
okay, I
actually.
hear. Okay. I think I've ever heard of like somebody who has taken a personal information and then use that personal information, say that you're from the person is from maybe the hospital, and then contacted the parents, and then the parents thought that it's really true that you need money for the hospital and then transfer money. I think that's really very serious. Yeah. So wow, I think yeah. I mean, please, if you have any more stories, all these scary, very scary stories, please share with us. I think everybody will benefit from this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the key thing is to have awareness and to have knowledge. And then once you have awareness and you have knowledge, you are able to be more careful. So I'll give you an analogy, and then I'm going to show some slides for everybody on the audience so that you can see it better. So just to give an analogy first, I'll paint this analogy. Imagine when you leave your house, when you leave your house to go for a meeting or go to work or fetch your kids or something or go and do marketing. What's the things that you always do? Number one, you close your window because you scared your rain. Number two, you make sure your fire is turned off because you scared if the fire is running, you forgot, can burn the house down. Number three, you go out the house, you lock your door. All right. But you not just lock your wooden door, you lock your gate also. So double protection. So with that same analogy, I'm going to talk about PDPA and the importance about privacy data. And the analogy of the house is the same thing because everything you have in your house is yours. All right, it's private to yourself. Number one. Number two, you don't want people to, go through the front door to get things, or you don't want internal things to destroy itself. So you want to ensure that everything is protected. And with that, I'm going to share with you my screen right now. So just give me 1 second as I share the screen. David, let me know if it's running the screen right
Okay, you can
now.
to, yep. Okay, you are there. Okay, just give me a moment. Yep. It's up now.
You can see the screen?
Yes. Okay, there are two
Or
screens. Is it correct?
which screen are you seeing? Sorry. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to get around this thing. There's two screens right now, is it?
No, there's no screen now. You got to share again. You can try sharing again.
Okay.
Yep.
Give me a second. Let me just close the slide, and then I'll do it again. Okay, share screen. Share screen.
You can share the application screen. Yep. Yes. Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
You?
I think this is the right one. Yep. Okay, great. This is the one.
All right, thank you. Okay, can you see the next page?
No.
No.
Only the main page.
A second.
Maybe you can click and then you go to the next page.
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'm actually on the next page on my computer. Okay, resume slide. Okay. Next. Sorry, guys. Apologies. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was running fine earlier on. Some technical issue on my end.
Or just share your screen. I think it's fine, right? The bigger screen or something.
Yeah, but it's not moving.
Okay, let me remove. Okay, you have added the other screen. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me share now.
All right.
Okay, I think it should be it's all there, right? Okay,
Yep.
let me try to move the screen and then let me see if it works. Yes, okay, it works. Thank you. So sorry,
Alright,
guys, for
great.
the quick issue. Okay, so this is just a slide cut. Hello, I'm David. I've lost my ID today at Central Park. Then somebody said, "So are you Dave now? Because you ID David. The ID is been removed." So it's a tongue in cheek to say that your identity is important. And sometimes when you lose your identity, you'll be in a lot of trouble because of certain things. Now, data privacy protection, right? There are two things: security and privacy. There are two separate focus over here, which I'm going to explain later on. All right, and how you're going to use or how these two things differ from one or the other. Basically, the difference would be who are the stakeholders of the event itself, right? Who are the ones who are actually responsible, all right, to ensure that the data security and of course data privacy in terms of what's going to be happening, who's running it, so on and so forth. Now, without going through all the the details over here, I'm just going to run through very quickly. So data privacy and data security, all right, one deals with compliance, all right, with data protection, the laws, regulation, focus on how to collect, processes, the sharing, how you archive and keep your information, how you even delete your data. All right, that's data privacy. Data security is the measure that you have in your organization, like how are things running? Are there security measures in place? Are the firewall up? Are the the antivirus programs running? And then how are your parameters set up in that environment, for example? So these are two separate things. Now the clarity will come in when we share a little bit more about a bunch of words here, but I want to take your focus on the stakeholders at the bottom. All right. So for data privacy, the stakeholders are your business owners, your board members, your CEO, your CIO, your CRO, Chief Risk Officer, your head of audit, all right, or your CFO, and business owners. That's your privacy stakeholders. Now you compare that with secure data security stakeholders, your CIO, CTO, and CSO, all right, Chief Security Officer. So you can see the difference between the two. And you can see in the middle of the triangle, you can see the board members and the CEO on top. And you can see, for example, the governance, people who are ensuring that the right governance is deployed. And you have the DPO, the Data Protection Officer. So later on, when I do have a link on a PDPA website. You can go in and find out more. I think it's our PDPA team has done a great. I mean, the organization has done a great. A lot of information is already listed over there. You can actually find out more. And how do you, for example, get a person in the organization to be a DPO? Now, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but you can find out more on that on your own. But this kind of gives you an idea of why is there a data protection officer? All right, because it covers privacy issues, and all these people need to be trained, all right, in your organization so that they know exactly what needs to be done, so they can advise your organization, for example, of how you collect the data, how you store the data, how you delete the data, how you organize, archive, and so on and so forth. Because the data that your organization is collecting is very, very important. If you collect NRIC, if you collect credit card information, if you collect private information whereby you deal with addresses and so on and so forth. So, for example, a travel agency collects a lot of information, your passport information, your this, your that. So all these key information is very important, and you need to be able to protect those data correctly. All right. So here are some of the new things or things that have changed. For example, in the data landscape in Singapore. All right, the Personal Data Protection Act was enacted in 2012. All right, and there's been some changes along the way and improvement and provisions being made. And from then until now, there has been cases, which I'm going to share a little bit on later on, whereby in Singapore they have found certain infraction, all right, of those of the PDPA law. All right, so basically, during those period of time or during that period of time when those infraction happen, usually you'll find it quite funny. All right, later on, I'm going to share a little bit, and you'll find that hey, how come these are little things? I didn't know that it's so important. Yes, they are very important. And you'll be very, very surprised on the kind of things or the mistakes that they have made. All right, so here are just two examples, all right, of two companies, whereby they have actually for example, breach some of the protection obligation that they are supposed to do. So in the release on 2019 September of last year, all right, organizations that continue to indiscriminately collect information. So when you go to you visit a company in the past, you need to give your IC. They you surrender your IC. They take down some information. Now all these are not supposed to be done today, but yet before COVID-19 hit, just a few months ago in January, when we had our meetings, we're still going for meetings and so on and so forth in the CBD area, there were still security companies still collecting IC, still collecting your information, and they're not supposed to, right? But yet they're still doing. Why? Because that means their whole organization, they have not understood the requirements of the PDPA requirement, all right? So, or the PDPC requirement. So all these things are still happening today, even for huge companies. So for small companies, why is it important? It's because Singapore SMBs, 70% of Singapore companies are SMBs, right? And then you have your SMEs, and then you have your MNCs. MNCs, they are a company that's really flush with a lot of finance and budget. They can do a lot of things that they want to. And of course, they have their laws as well. But later on, you're going to see even big companies get fined because they breach certain issues. So over here you have Horizon Fast. If you have been to on the fast ferry to Indonesia, of Horizon Fast. So a gap happened, and a personal data of close to about 300,000 of the organization passengers was exposed, and due to undisclosed or unauthorized disclosure, right? So they were fined of a total of $54,000. All right, and they have to, for example, pay that during a period of time, and that's a lot of money. That's number one. Number two, there's a loss of reputation, right? Because you are exposing almost 300,000 of your customers' information online. Now,
I think
without going into,
reputation is more important. Yeah, serious,
yeah,
very
I mean,
serious. Mm.
$354,000 for your reputation is nothing, lah. All right, $54,000 is nothing. All right, because your reputation that you built took years to build, a lot of blood, sweat, and effort. So just because of a small little data infraction, you pay a fine. That's one part, but your reputation is hit. And exactly so, David, as you said, reputation is more important. Number two, this is SPH. All right. One of the few breaches that they have done, and a financial penalty of 26,000 was imposed on them. All right, and basically they failed to place reasonable security information. And what happened over there, right? During the investigation, you can see at the bottom, right? It was discovered that the password used by the relevant senior moderator was not changed for the past 10 years. All right. So how many of you out there right now have not changed your password in the last 6 months? All right, don't talk about 10 years, in the last 6 months. Because in big organizations, especially MNCs, they change their password every 3 to 6 months, right? Usually about one quarter, all right, about 4 months. So if you have not changed your password, I suggest that you do try to change your passwords today. Number one. Number two, talking about, since we're on password, do ensure that your password is not your name or admin or something so simple as that. It has to be something that has a lowercase, uppercase with some numerical numbers and flip them around in between. That will make it a little bit tougher to do. Now, if you want to go to those really fancy, 256-bit kind of a password kind of a thing, you can actually find out more from some auto password generator. But remember one more point: always write your password down somewhere on a piece of paper, because most people always forget their password when they try to key in and they are locked out of their system. So this is
Hey, Shane,
one way.
I hold you here. I want to
Yeah.
ask, is it safe to store your password? Okay, there are a lot of password application online available that you can download and use, because we have I think personally I have at least 1,000 password.
Wow.
How do
Okay.
you keep track all these individual password? I mean, I cannot. So, do you recommend that we download something application and then store all the password inside? Do you recommend it?
You can. I mean, that's one way. The other way is
Okay.
to put it on your Excel. You print it out on a piece of paper, keep under your bed, mattress, or somewhere.
Hey,
But you can download applications out there. There are quite a few. They can exist on your phone. They're 256 encrypted. They're password protected as well at the same time. But always remember that whatever password you set for your password vault, you call it, right, your application vault, make sure that password is also hard to crack, right? Once the guy cracked that
okay,
password,
okay. Yeah, because you have
access
a password to access the app itself. Yeah. How about saving password in the browser? It's so simple nowadays. You can just save in the browser, you know, and then you do not need to have any login. Just put your username and then the password will come out and log in directly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because of convenience, right? A lot of people do that. And I think if you have a safe browser, all right, the browsers are quite strong because, for example, I mean, there's nothing in this world, number one, is unhackable. Everything is hackable in one way or another, either today, tomorrow, or in the future, right? So everything is hackable. That's number one. Number two is that technology is always moving faster than what your technology is today. That means whatever you're doing today, your mobile phone, your TV, your laptop, everything is already 2 or 3 years advanced, just that they're not launched to the public yet. So you must understand that your password that you set, for example, in your browser, it is quite safe, I would say, especially on Chrome and all those. Because why? Chrome is owned by Google, and Google spends a lot of money not to protect you, but to protect their reputation.
Okay,
So
makes
they will
sense. Okay.
ensure that your password and your information and your data is protected as much as possible.
Okay.
But
Okay. Thank you.
it's still hackable. So
Still hackable. Oh man.
you still need to do some, of course, certain things. For example, I don't keep my banking information. I don't keep on my browser. All right, like emails, all this. Yeah, it's easy. It's fine. And if I lost it, it's no harm to me. But banking details, I will never save it. I always keep it somewhere else. Keep it over here in the old noodle.
That's the best. The best way to keep your
Okay.
password.
So I'm just going to move on here. So data privacy is unfortunately an unfair field. All right. Why? Because big organizations have the money and the resources to do a lot of perimeter defense. They can build their house like a fortress. But for us, common folks, right, on SMB area, whereby maybe budget is not as sky high as them, but yet we have enough basic protection. Like what I shared with you earlier on, for example, in a house, you have your window, that's a basic protection, all right? You have turning off your stove, that's your responsibility to ensure your password and everything is set on place. You turn it off when you need to turn it off. And of course, your front door, all right, that means your wooden door is locked, your gate is locked. That is also up to you as an individual, your responsibility to ensure that your business and your company, everything is also protected at the same time. All right. Next is on, sorry, David, I see some comments here. Do we reply to the comments or do we just carry on first?
Yeah. I mean, anytime okay, why don't we answer this question? There's one question over here. Okay, in the current COVID-19 situation, we have to present our NRIC to scan when we enter to malls. How would PDPA come in? The malls will have all our LC number. Yeah. So
okay. Yeah, because when they scan the information, right, because I actually asked one of the people who scan my information as well. So for example, I use SingPass to scan. So the information is not going to the mall, it goes to, for example, the government side, I think. But it's going to the government side. It's so they're able to track where you are at. So that, for example, if somebody gets COVID, right, they're able to see that you have been there. So you appear like little data points on the system. And know that you have been to the area. And of course, if you have gone to somewhere else, they can start to track backwards in terms of where else have you been exactly after you step into, for example, Parkway. Right now, Parkway is considered a cluster. So after you go into Parkway, where have you been after that? So the information they collect is for their back end. Now, if you're talking about the security guard, taking your key, your IC to register or to scan, they should be scanning and going to the same place as well. All the information does not go into their data stream or they are not collecting it. They are actually sending on behalf of the government. So you can always ask them directly, hey, who is collecting this? And most of them, they're going to tell you, this is not from us, it's actually from the government. So it's all linked to the government side, their portal, so that they can collate all the information in one place so they can find out who are the clusters.
So how do we verify if they are really sending to the government? Anyway, this is side question.
You ask them. You can just ask them straight up. Yeah.
They will say yes, what? They will say, oh yeah, it's going
all
to
them will know. Of course you can check and double check, but not all of them will know. And this was raised, I think, in some forum or somewhere before, and I can't remember the whole story, but they talked about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just carry on here. So these are some of the number of breaches that's happened or taken place, whether it's by, you can see academies, by Singtel, L'Oreal got a warning, for example, Creative, and so on and so forth. And as you look through it, you'll start to realize that there are a lot of things. I mean, just one snapshots only, there's quite a few. And there are companies that is not listed here that has actually breached the $1 million mark of their fine as well in Singapore. So things are going to be changing. And of course, things will just continue to change. So 14th of May, new measures have come on. All right, consultation paper on proposed amendments to PDPA. All right, the key changes: mandatory breach notification. All right, it's mandatory to notify when you have a breach in your organization. So you cannot keep quiet. If you lost your data, you get ransomware, you get hacked, you must, for example, inform PDPA, all right, immediately. And especially you are a company that collects customer information. Personal offences, all right, for the next point, for knowing, reckless, or disclosure of personal information, all right, that means a leak from your employee who stole your data and went out to share. So you found that, hey, this employee left the company, but in a USB, see all the data and left. You also need to report on that as well.
Clarity on just 2 weeks ago. There's changes is 2 weeks ago. Is that right?
Sorry?
14th of May, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks
just
ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people are not aware about this.
Actually, a lot of people are not aware. I mean, we were speaking to our legal friends and partners as well in this area, and they shared with us some of the new changes, what it means to companies, and why we need to get this word out to share it more. Because as we move towards going online more and more, it is important for companies and for organizations to be prepared. Right. All right. Next point is exemption on for legitimate interest for business and improvement. Data portability, increased financial penalties. All right, so it kind of gives you an idea of the whole thing. I'm not going to go through every single point, but just going to call out some of the main points. You can actually find out more on the PDPA website, on the PDPC website. So pre-amendment and post-amendment. So before and post today, right? So for example, mandatory breach notification within 72 hours, all right, of assessment if you know that you have a breach, all right, for no significant harm to any affected individual and affecting less than 500 individuals, all right. So this is something that you need to, for example, inform PDPC and let them know of this significant breach notification. This allows them to react and, of course, build in certain protection or other things around your system to ensure that you are, for example, clear in terms of getting information. Right? Let me just go through now. All these are consultation papers, and then some of these rules are ongoing and it's going to be changed soon. Upcoming changes also pre-amendment and post-amendment. All right. So post-amendment, any individual who causes unauthorized disclosure of personal information. All right. So for example, unknowingly, for example, you do not know that you have sent out certain information like what you share. You share with your family members. Go on a trip, you forward on WhatsApp. All your private data information to the agent, right? And then the agent is collecting it, and the agent unknowingly or recklessly, did not take care of the information and share out to the wrong place. So these are things that can happen, and you need to ensure that all these passing around information is not there. But unfortunately, a lot of whether are you a insurance agent, property agent, and anything that deals with consumer or customer information, these are the few groups that collect a lot of information that needs to be very, very careful as well. Okay, I see on the sorry, David, I just point to the comment over here.
Yes,
it says, from Maya, she says that does PDPA privacy and protection applies to informal, voluntary, or interest groups? Yes, it applies to everybody. All right, basically. So, for example,
So
if
registered or not registered, both applies.
yeah, it is private data, and I think this is the part whereby a lot of people struggle with, all right, in terms of getting the information correct. But I think one of the challenge for this part, right, whereby this key information that you're holding on, whether is it, let's say, private group like a Canon photography group, right? You collect a lot of information on Excel or your Google Forms and stuff like that, and you are responsible for protecting the data, right? And if there is a breach, for example, of those information, it is up to you to volunteer those information up to PDPC because you feel that, hey, substantially the information I've collected is really quite important. But you get questioned now, why are you collecting all this information? If it's just to deliver, maybe, okay, for example, there's on COVID-19. So a lot of people do group buy of maybe the latest chicken rice from somewhere, right? They group buy online. They share their address, they share their telephone number, they share their certain information. Now, if those information that they share on the Facebook, which I don't recommend to, but I see all the names sometimes, before, and I'm like, wow, they're sharing too much information, right? Or they share on the Google form. And the Google form, unfortunately, some of them, if it's not blocked, that means only the host can see it. And if some people make a mistake, like in the past, I think somebody made a mistake and made the form available online. I think one school or somewhere, whereby all the students' information plus family information was all downloadable to a person's laptop, right, or computer. So that would be a danger. So that's why I think the key rule, or what I'm going to share today more about, is about how to change the mindset or the paradigm around data privacy and why it's important for us, to be careful. Number one, it's up to us as a person, but yet the house must protect itself, which I'm going to talk about later on some of the defenses that we have. All right, I'm going to go back to the
There's
slide.
another
Just
question by Maya. Another
Maya.
question. This is the one on the screen.
How do we keep ourselves updated with the PDA changes momentarily? Okay, basically got to check online. All right. I'm not sure if there's an alert button that you can actually click or subscribe to, whereby they'll alert you when there's a new update and so on and so forth. I believe there is. You got to check it. I'm not sure. Sorry, on my end, I need to find out. I can share with you guys and basically get yourself updated on the latest changes from there. Usually they'll do a big announcement about these changes. Okay.
But this time on the 14th of May, no announcement. I don't know. Totally
Okay,
no
sorry.
idea.
Maybe I was not clear earlier on. My mistake. Basically, these are information. For example, it's upcoming changes that was released. So they'll put this out, and then after you'll make a formal release, then the stamp chop by PDPC, and then this will go live. All right. So these are the upcoming changes.
As business owner, we are still safe if we have not changed.
Yeah,
In that sense.
but must be prepared. Okay, so these are some of the rest as well. Post amendment. I mean, I think some of this will be shared, right? So I don't have to go through every single point. And you can definitely find out more on the PDPC website. Okay, here are some other post amendments. All right, organization can process, collect, use, disclose personal data without consent where legitimate interest to organization and benefit to public outweighs diverse effect of individual. For example, the collection of for the COVID-19 when you go to the mall and all this, right? When they're collecting a lot of information. Organization can use personal data without consent for operational efficiency, developing or enhancing services, or knowing the organizational customer. So privacy data, right? There is also something called consent, right? That means the data that you share. For example, when you buy a new application, if you buy, you know that when you have if you have an iPhone, and when you're turning on for the very first time, there's a list of things that is actually inside the data information. And if you go to some other websites as well, and some of these things regarding consent for using or your use of your own data, some of that is 37 page long. It's very, very long.
Wow.
And usually nobody reads it, right? Most of us just okay, accept, right? And what happens there is that you are giving them, because the way certain things are written about those consent, I mean about for your to get your consent for your using of your data, it's written in a way whereby, for example, you use Google Gmail for free. It's not for free. They are using your data. All right, they are tracking where you go, what you do, collecting all those data analytics, to power their advertising product, whereby advertising is their main source of business and income. So they give this to you for free because you're the customer, you're the consumer. By knowing each data point, he do not know you personally. He don't know who is Shane or David, right, personally. But we are a data point, their entire list or millions and petabytes of data. And basically from those data, they sell those information to those advertisers and so on and so on. So you kind of know how it works. Now, those data information are being used in that sense, right? So for example, all of us are being tracked out, but we allow it because of the convenience of the device, the use of the application, the convenience of the Gmail and search information. So we use it and we willingly give our data up for free in a sense because we feel that, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to lose a lot of stuff.
I think I
Now,
have no choice because if I don't give them, they won't allow me to use the app.
exactly,
Right?
they don't give you a choice. It's like,
Yeah.
you want to use me, this is what you must say yes. You want to say no, then you say bye bye.
Yes.
You don't have to
Yes.
who I am. So, but with that said, you do notice that data privacy, they are protecting more and more. And I think the key information is going to be very, very important. And how we use the data for a business is also important. So, for example, those big companies like Google or Microsoft or Facebook, if they breach any information, they can fine millions of dollars, and they have been fined millions of dollars before in the past. So they continually improve and spend a lot of money to ensure your data, your information is protected. So those are big companies. But when it comes down to us, SME and SMB, we don't have that kind of budget to do that kind of protection. So what are some of the basic stuff that we can do? All right. So before I go to that part about how we do it, here are the financial penalties. All right, for the upcoming changes. Currently today is the fine up to $1 million. So you could be a $200 million company, your fine is 1 million. You could be a $500,000 company, your fine could be 1 million. Now, post amendment is 10% of your annual turnover. So that's a bit more fair, lah. All right. So the bigger the company you are, the more you got to pay. The smaller you are, of course, the less you got to pay in a sense. So whichever is higher, all right, you have to be paying that amount. So these are the new things that's coming up. So you need to be careful. So SME or SMBs, we are not equipped to protect our data today because we don't have the money to hire a CISO, all right, a Chief Information Security Officer, or CIO, a Chief Information Officer, or even some of us may not be able to, afford a CTO or whatever. So basically, the boss is the CTO, he's also the CIO,
The
he's
boss is
also the
everything.
CISO. Boss is everything, right? Like many of us are. We're all hands-on, we do everything ourselves. Nothing wrong with that. But you need the tools, number one. Number two, you need the right product and the right equipment to get the job done. Now, you may not have the money to hire the McAfee's of the world or the big Palo Alto or the big cybersecurity companies of the world. But as a business that you have today, for example, some of you who are customers of Ready Space have their systems hosted in certain areas where it's highly protected. So in that sense, you are also protected. But when you go down the line to your endpoint, which is your computer, your laptop and your computers, Now, those may not be protected. Now, how do you protect those without the $3 sign over there? Now, we're going to share with you in a bit. Over here, this is where what we do. All right. We have a data privacy protection business. And what we do is that we have an application that you can actually download right onto your endpoint, and you'll protect your laptop to ensure that there's no breaches of key information like NRIC number, credit card information, so on and so forth. So it's a very simple tool. Download your system. It goes at the background. About the first time when we do a scan through, it takes about 1 or 2 weeks because it goes through every single area to pull up all the key information, the critical information that's related to your NRIC, credit card information, private information, and you'll surface out as a report to you, allowing you to be able to mitigate those issues. All right. So that's the key part about protecting the data. So in the past, right, many organizations they collect NRIC for a few things: lucky draw, promotion, membership, sign on, HR, employee information. So some people ask me, what if my company only have 10 people, right? Am I also involved? Yes, you have your employee information as well. So as you go on, right, you need to ensure that these key risks are taken care of and they are not multiplied. Why do I say that? Because, for example, if you're the boss of a company, the laptop you use today may be the best or the latest, right, that you bought in the last few months. And what happened to your old laptop? You pass it down to your employee. It just keep pushing down. Now, if you do not do a clean wipe of your information, a lot of your data debris, we call it, all right, is actually sitting in some folder somewhere that you can't even find or you do not know about. So our application, when you download into your laptop or to your endpoint, you'll surface all those, and it allows you to mitigate those issues or those data leaks or potential leaks that you found on that endpoint, and actually be able to, for you to actually do something about it. All right. So this is an example of some of the things that can be found on an endpoint, and we give a dollar value to it because this dollar value is linked to one of the big fours, whereby these are things that, for example, you can find or buy in a dark web online, your data information and roughly the cost of it, and then multiplied by the number, then you kind of know the amount of money that you are at risk. So in the past, if I tell you got 1,000 risks, then you say, okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. If I show you, hey, you got 198 US dollar worth of risk, then you're like, wow, that's a lot of risk. Go ahead.
As I look at all these figures, I want to ask you one question. How much is it to hire a CISO in today's market?
To hire somebody today, for let's say you want to do a risk assessment of your company,
something
right?
like that, and then assuming my business is
range
running
from
well,
anything from number one, because they don't come out to do anything until you have a certain amount, right? So it's between $5,000 to $7,000 around there.
Okay, and I need a team of people just to take care of it, or just one person?
Yes, you need a lot of people. They have to review, they have to check through, and they can only do spot check. They can't even do every single computer. So imagine your company has 3,000 computers, or don't say 3,000, 300 computers, all right, like a big SME, right? There's no way to look through every single computer and find the risk or the infraction in all those computers.
Okay.
So our system allows quick delivery and deployment, so it helps you to actually surface all this very fast.
So it's a constant scanning somewhat in the system
Yes,
to make sure that
constantly scanning, ensuring that your system is protected, up to date, so that no data is at risk, or your data whereby if it's at rest in your computer and when it's on transit, right, that you ensure that nothing is infractionable.
Okay.
That's all. This is my last slide, David. So we can continue to the next point.
This is the last slide. Okay,
yeah, this is the last slide.
This is last slide. Wow, time flies. I'm still trying to digest whatever that you have shared. Wow, so many things in my mind now. Wow. And also, I'm not sure if you guys are really, the audience, are you guys, have you guys learned something or not? If you have learned something, please tell us that you have learned something, by typing, PDPA or something, right? If you have any questions, please continue to ask, all right? And then we will share with you. I believe we will share with you more. I mean, Shane, we have some product that you will share with us. How do we solve this issue, right? Whereby we do not need to spend a lot, okay? Because that's the title of today's live, right? How do you solve the personal data issue in your business, okay? Even though you do not have much knowledge about it. Yeah. Insightful speaker. Wow. Thank you so much. Okay, last slide. I thought you have something more. No. Okay, never mind.
The last one is the bonus or whatever you say just now.
I see. Okay. My fault. Okay, so here you go. Guys, okay, so if you find that this session is very good, and you want somebody who you want to have the slide, okay, please please go to our Facebook, okay, and follow us, okay, and then click like, okay, and then we'll send this whole slide to you, all right. And I believe okay, and then we also send we also would like you to click on our like button and then click on see first, okay, so that you get the latest update, okay, whenever we have a new Facebook Live session. Okay, before okay, there's another okay. Before we end, we would like to take some more questions.
Okay, I saw something
there's
from.
one-
Do we have to do annual audit?
Yep, do we have to do?
Okay, so I mean, it depends on your organization. If it's, for example, a requirement from your auditors or whatever, in like especially those listed companies, yes. Non-listed, of course, it's up to you. Whereby you want to do a yearly checkup, or to ensure that everything up to spec. Number two is that what we also do is that we conduct basic cybersecurity hygiene training, whereby we help to train up your employees to be cyber aware. It's very basic, meaning that it allows, because many people do not understand, what needs to be done. For example, how to go online securely and safely, with security in the back of your mind, to ensure that whatever you're sharing, whatever information. The other things that we also share in the cybersecurity hygiene class or session or workshop is that we talk about how to avoid phishing emails. Phishing emails are targeted phishing emails, whereby, for example, we receive an email from David, and David say, "Hey, check out my latest photos. In where I went to Bahamas. I was not wearing much. All right, for example, like that, to create the pool, right? And then you click the link, and the link sends you to a malicious site stealing certain information, or it replicates, or it puts it releases or deploys a malware into your system or whatever is it. So these are things whereby many employees sometimes do not know, and you'll be surprised even in the past when those past conducted classes, 75% of an organization of about 200 plus people, they click those phishing emails. They just went through, and then there's two stage. You click the first stage and second stage. So all those information are actually they go through, and basically, for those companies, they want to get their entire organization cyber ready. So this is something that you can also learn as well.
Okay, Shane, I think what I need is really okay, because you mentioned to me that the consultants okay, because as a small company, I really need to have the lowest cost possible, right? So you mentioned about the consultant or hiring somebody at 7,000-8,000 just to take care of my cybersecurity. I think these costs need to be really mitigated and be brought down. So you have a product. Okay, do you have a product, okay, that that actually solve this problem? You have the product, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, we have a simple a product whereby it helps to at least allow you to sleep better at night. I will call it, right, so that
Okay. Yeah.
you don't think too much about it. It works in the background. You're able to see and mitigate the risk that's coming up. You're able to
Correct.
see from the report, and exactly know what to do. So it's
Okay, so-
a product that we sell. Yep. And then we are offering this today to
Yes.
the ready
So originally spending 7,000, okay, and now, okay, what you can offer, suppose it should be something is lower. Can you share with us what is the cost for it, for this product itself?
Okay.
That can
So,
make us
so this one is a promotion. We're working together with Ready Space. We're not doing this anywhere else, so it's only for today. And basically, for today you get about 50% off. All right, for the next 12 months.
okay.
For $5 per month per endpoint, and basically you just go to this website, you go to this link, you download it, and then of course remove the Twitter one. Sorry, I think that came in by mistake. The Twitter one. This one is the Twitter.hq. That's our Twitter link actually. Sorry, that was my mistake. It popped in there. And then basically you type ready space dash now to the special code, and basically you'll get 50% off. It's only for today. So do try to go there and sign up. and then we will take care of everything, and then basically sign up. You'll get an email reply after you key in all your information, basically so that we can create the account for you, and then you'll get the app download information. Just download into your computer, and then it works at the background. You don't have to worry about it. It doesn't pop up anything, so it does not interfere with your daily work. Some other system will interfere with everything else, and then you got to reset here, reset there, and then how come my that one disappear? How come my that one disappear? It's not like that at all. It's very very simple to use, and the why it's priced so low. Some people say, why is it so cheap? For example, it's because it's for the SMB, and the key thing is that we're gonna make it affordable. So you're getting almost like quite a strong grade version of the bigger if you know the term DLP, all right, to that certain degree, but a very lighter version for SMB, and it works in this space. Now you may say, how about those bigger companies? Don't they have the same thing? No, they don't. All right, they are for them to have something like this will number cost several $1,000s, and it takes almost a few months to implement because of the kind of things that all the policies they need to put into the system. So we are not like that now. Okay.
So this is really a gift for the SMEs. Okay. Okay. Let me see.
SME,
Let me
SME.
digest a bit. SME, yeah. Let me digest a bit because from 7,000 to just $5 per month, you can get your data protected. And we do not need to do anything, right? We do not need to do anything. Just install this application into the laptops. The system will scan it and then provide us with a report. Is that right? Is that what we get? Okay. And then so question is, what do we do with the report then?
Okay, with the report, right, what you'll be able to do is that now you can mitigate. It means that you are able to actually go to the area or the places whereby you have found, because the report will show that all your data is here, everywhere. So you need to pull everything out, and you need to reorganize certain information. So it allows you to mitigate. It's the same thing for big companies when they do certain policies and everything for those big DRP that cost some even hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, depending on how big your company is. It's the same thing. You'll generate those reports out so that the IT person can mitigate and be able to go and solve the issue. Now, because you don't have an IT person, you don't have a CISO, you don't have a CIO, for example. So you have to mitigate it on your own. Now, it allows you a simple way to mitigate it by going to locate, find, and resolve your information very quickly. So this will help to save your information. And because constantly there's a lot of things happening, right? So you need to always mitigate. Now, this is not just apply to you. Maybe you are cybersecurity savvy, you know what to do, but your employee do not know what to do. And sometimes they are the ones, unfortunately, they are good people, just that sometimes they make a mistake by doing certain things or certain action, which your information get distributed in the wrong way. So this allows you to actually see or mitigate those information at the same time.
I think that's really a real problem, yeah, because employees are good, they can be really kind. I mean, they know what they are supposed to do. They know what they are doing, but things still happen, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So friends, I think this is really a very good offer. 7,000 to $5 per month. And this offer, is just a special offer today, right? Just for today. Okay, so please take down this URL www.mtz.one/data privacy protection. Data privacy protection. Log into the site. Okay, let me go to the site and take a look quickly, so that our viewers will know. Okay, MTZ, NZT. Sorry, I keep saying this wrong name.
NZT, yeah.
Privacy protection. Okay, and it's a form. Okay, let me share this screen to you guys. Yep, so this is the one. Okay, so please fill in your information here, company name, contact person, and over here, key in ready space dash now. Is that right? I forgot already.
Yes, correct.
Ready space dash now. Okay, to get this offer today. Okay, guys, today 2359. This link is going to be gone already. I'm not the link. The offer is going to be gone already. Okay, so we're just going to open up this time for a quick Q&A. Okay, and if there's any question, says there one more question here. Okay.
Mobile phone. Just give me 1 second where I share the screen again. Uh,
Okay.
uh, Give me one
Time
second.
really flies,
Is my
we have out of time, but yes, a few more questions come. Shane, please.
Okay. So does it work on mobile phones? No, not on mobile phones at the moment. Right now, it's only for laptops.
It's only for laptops. Okay,
We
would
are
it?
using our phone to work most of the time, check emails, attachment. Yes, I understand that. Our information is right now more on the laptops, more for organizations. And of course, mobile phone, actually, most of your info you may store on your phone or you may store it in the cloud or you may store on your company servers. Right? So those information, for example, can actually be covered as well and protected. But we are not on mobile phones at the moment. We will be in the future, but not now.
Okay, okay. Any idea how long roughly? Or yeah,
Uh,
just
about 8 months away.
8 months away. Okay. Yeah. So you will get that eventually 8 months later.
Yeah, you'll be
Okay.
available by then. The other link
Thank.
I shared the PDPC link. If you can just go out. So you can go to www.pdpc.gov.sg. You can actually find out a lot of information here. Their website is really full of information. They got educational videos and quite a lot of stuff for you to help you to understand a little bit more. And of
Mhm.
course, the final details and all this, you can speak to us. We can help you to help your organization get along the way to get up, to move on with the program of what PDPC is requiring. Just to share also, this is what we have on our Twitter page, our LinkedIn, and of course our Facebook pages that you want to find out more. And then of course my information you can find over here. Simple.
Okay, and
MZT
your
momentum
website
is
is
very long,
mzt.one.
but easier. All right.
mzt.one.
That's
Okay.
what I wanted to share. From here, back to you, David.
Okay, let me just key in your URL. All right. Yes, mzt.one. Okay, so if you need any further information, okay, go to mzt.one and contact. There's a contact form, I believe. Okay, and contact and ask necessary whatever question that you have, guys. Okay. So before we end, I think we have already run out of time. Okay, we just want to thank Shane. Shane, thank you so much for sharing. I think it's really a very valuable time. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm not sure. Okay, if possible, if there's any further future security update, can we invite you back again?
Oh, of course. It's my pleasure and my honor. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening to me for the past 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think it's really valuable. Okay, all the businesses need to be protected, really. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's about it for today. Okay, before you go, okay, please guys go and like our page. Okay, click on share and then like and then click on see first. Okay, so that you can receive our future Facebook Live notification. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for staying with us, and I promise you guys that we will continue sharing more in details. Okay, and also with regards to the bonus, okay, I'll be sending you directly. So give me like maybe 1 or 2 hours. Okay, I'll be sending you that bonus. Okay, whoever that have shared, okay, to your Facebook Messenger. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much. Thanks, Elim. Thanks for your time. Over here, Elim. Thanks, and the rest. Okay, I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much. Bye bye.